How do we cope with stress, anxiety, sadness, and fear? What are the 4 types of coping mechanisms that have been found to be most helpful? I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist with Mended, and this is Ask a Therapist, and I'm going to help you learn how to cope with all the crap you got on your plate. Let's do this. Hello folks, welcome back. Let's talk about coping for a second. We all have stress, we all have sorrows, we all have sadness, we all have fears, we all have things that drive us nuts and people that we really don't like. So how do we cope?
That is the question that we should be asking ourselves all the time.
When we talk about coping mechanisms, we're talking about things that we turn to make those feelings go away, or to make our stressors go away, or to solve our problems. And sometimes coping mechanisms are automatic. We don't even really think about them. I stub my toe, I curse, right? That wasn't a plan, that just kind of happened. Other times it's, okay, I'm angry at my kids, I don't want to yell at them, so we're breathing now, and we're breathing, right? Coping mechanisms can be healthy, they can be unhealthy, but they all tend to fall under one of these 4 categories as identified by Dr. Wayne Wheaton. I hope I pronounced that right. It might be Wheaton, but that's how it's spelled. Anyways.
Panasonic.
So the 4 types are appraisal-focused, problem-focused, emotion-focused, and occupation-focused. So appraisal-focused strategies are focused on changing or challenging our mindset, our thoughts, and our assumptions. So denial is the most common coping mechanism here, and it's not especially a healthy one. Denial tends to be more automatic. We don't strategize or think through or plan to be in denial of our weaknesses or our reality or what's going on. Denial happens when it's too big. We don't want to face it. We don't want to admit it. We don't want to explore it. It's too scary. It's too stressful. It's too sad. And so we deny that it's even happening.
Can you explain what you're doing in this photo?
That's not me.
This can happen when someone's passed away. This can happen when you've got a text from your significant other and you're pretty sure it's the text that's dumping you. And so you don't even answer it, you don't even look at it. You're just in denial that it's even happening. This can be true about world events, events in your community, things that we don't want to look at or admit. So what are some healthy alternatives, some healthy types of appraisal-focused coping? The first is to remind yourself to be open-minded. We like to think that we've got the world figured out for the most part, that we've got life figured out and people figured out, because then it's less chaotic, right? We like to feel like we're stable, and if we've got it all figured out, we feel stable. But this is actually a crutch that keeps us from growing. This is actually a crutch that can lead to denial. We don't want our paradigm or our worldview challenged or upset. And so we just stick our heads in the sand, stick our fingers in our ears, and do like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber, la 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 la. We just do this.
Triple stamp a double stamp. You can't triple stamp a double stamp, Lord.
The way to challenge that is to recognize that I will be happier and better able to face life's challenges if I am open-minded. That doesn't mean I accept everything that's presented to me as truth. It just means I'm not going to write it off either. I'm not going to be so sure of myself that I'm not open to new information. People who are brainwashed, people who do a lot of damage in the name of good often do so because they're so fixed on a certain way of thinking. So practice open-mindedness is the best place to start. Be open to new information. Always be seeking new instruction and to learn from the perspectives of others. If your position is a strong one, it will only benefit and become stronger from new information. It will only become stronger due to challenges. Now, I'm not saying that we should just accept or listen to dissenting voices that are there to criticize without anything valuable to say or without any research to back it up. I'm merely saying the truth will set you free. Are you interested enough in what is true and what is factual and what is real to challenge your beliefs, to challenge your worldview? And that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to end up abandoning everything you hold dear, but it may mean that it evolves as you go on. And that's okay. That's called growth. And it's a great way to overcome something called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is where you have a set of values and beliefs, and there's new information that challenges it, and it's incredibly disrupting or upsetting. Some people abandon their old beliefs, some people leap onto the new ones, and some people find a way to meld the two. And which of those is the best option really comes down to, once again, what's true, what's right. Don't be afraid to study things out. Don't be afraid to seek answers. Don't be afraid to get new information.
Don't be afraid.
The next coping mechanism is problem focused. Now, it's called problem focused because it's focused on whatever's bothering you, right? Can I get this to go away? Or can I fix this? Or can I reduce this stressor? I prefer the term solutions focused instead of problem focused because in many ways it's doing the same thing, except for it's less negative. It's less I'm being impeded by this problem or this is a problem to be solved. My wife likes to say that everything that is difficult is either an obstacle or it's an opportunity. Problem-focused coping mechanisms, again, I'm going to reframe it to solutions-focused coping mechanisms, are focused on this is an opportunity for growth. This is an opportunity for triumph. This is an opportunity to do things better, to learn from mistakes, or to increase my capacity to endure if things can't be changed. In these cases, your coping mechanism is often to learn new skills. It's to learn new skills, it's to get new information, it's to seek creative ways to do things differently. And some of our greatest innovations in the history of humankind, and even just our greatest innovations in our homes and in our families, come from saying, this isn't working, I'm going to pivot and try this instead. Oh, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Okay, I'm getting this new input and I'm going to constantly be evolving. And I'm going to constantly be shifting until I find just the right way. A lot of people feel like failures because they fail. But the fact is, you're only a failure if you stop trying. And if you stop adjusting. It's not about continually trying the same thing over and over, hoping for a different result. It's about, okay, I tried, I failed, but what did I learn from this? And I'm going to make an adjustment and make an adjustment and make an adjustment until I find what works. So solutions-focused coping mechanisms are incredibly powerful. Problem-focused, it's about changing what's in front of you. It's about changing your situation or finding a way to make things better. And in the absence of that, it's about focusing on bettering yourself so you can meet these challenges. If I have terminal cancer and none of the treatments are working, there may not be a solution, but there is a solution here and here. How am I going to spend these last few months? How am I going to improve my relationships, leave a legacy, make an impact on the lives of the people around me, right? That would be an example of this.
And that's how you would remember me.
The next coping mechanism is emotion-focused, and there's therapies for a lot of these. There's solutions-focused therapy, there's emotionally focused therapy. This focuses on changing your own emotional reaction, being aware of your own feelings, being aware if your feelings are serving you or not, and switching over. An example of this is choosing to laugh instead of to cry. An example of this is taking a stressful moment with your kids and turning it into a learning opportunity or an opportunity for play and engagement instead of an opportunity for rage and anger.
Calm down.
I'm calm!
So for example, I may see kids running across my lawn and that makes me angry and I feel a surge of anger and I think, when I was their age, I was breaking windows. So that puts it in perspective. Perspective is a big part of emotion-focused coping and emotion-focused therapy for that matter. I like to ask my kids when they're fighting, is this gonna matter in 5 minutes? If the answer is no, drop it. If the answer is yes, okay, well, let's take 5 minutes. Let's be in touch with the fact that I'm angry, I'm aroused, I'm upset. I'm not going to handle this because I'm not going to think clearly because I'm upset. And I'm going to soothe myself. And then I'm going to re-engage. If it's going to matter in 5 minutes, okay, let's re-engage in 5 minutes after we've calmed down. Other examples of coping skills that fall in line with emotion-focused are meditation, relaxation, or catharsis, where you know these emotions are just going to be bottled up inside you unless you let them out. And so you let them out in a way that's not going to hurt anybody. You go in your car and you listen to your screamo music and you scream along with it. Or you play your violent video games, or you punch the punching bag, or you just scream into a pillow, right? Whatever it is where you can release it without hurting somebody, that's catharsis. And then the last is occupation-focused coping, which has to do with how are you spending your days, right? If the way you're spending your days is adding to your stress, it may be time for a change in what you make the primary focus of your life. If your job is making you miserable, it may be time for a change. If you're a stay-at-home parent, and that's really, really tough on you, it may be time for a change. It may be time to work or to seek more of a balance in your life so that you have time for yourself. So those are the 4 types. Appraisal focused, which is changing your way of thinking, your way of perceiving the world. Problem focused, or I like to call it solution focused, where you're looking to actually make things better and make changes. Emotion focused, where you are in tune with your own emotional reaction and you change it if it's not serving the situation. And occupation focus, where you change how you spend your days. These are the manners of coping. These are the coping mechanisms. Now, I want to direct you to another powerful video that I think will be very helpful for you. How do you know if you're experiencing trauma? Check that out. If you enjoyed this video, we've got many, many more on our Mended Light YouTube channel. Where you are, browse the channel, peruse the collection. There's so much here to help and serve you. If you enjoyed this, share it with your friends. If you didn't enjoy it, now is a time for thoughtful reflection and silence and not saying a dang word. Please like, subscribe, click the bell to make sure you get our future videos. I'm Jonathan Decker. Please let us know in the comments, how do you cope? What are your coping mechanisms? What do you like to do? If you have a question for me that you'd like for me to answer in one of these Ask a Therapist segments, go ahead and leave that in the comments below as well. As always, keep shining your light because we need it. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist with Mended Light, and we'll see you next time. Here it comes. Oh yeah, this is how do you know if you have trauma. You see it right there? You just gotta click on it. That's all you gotta do. And the journey will